Hey, good afternoon. My name is Tim Cruz, applicant for the Life Cycle Consultant 1 position here at ADP. I want to thank you for the opportunity to continue on in the process. So when I first started thinking about this assignment, this task of talking about something that's really passionate to me in the span of a few minutes, I had a lot of different things I wanted to talk about. A lot of stuff that I did at ADP, whether it was on the sales side of things and some of the successes I had there, or if it was more on the service side of things, where I led some teams and some process improvements and associate engagement type activities. So it was really hard to pick and choose. But I did some soul searching, and I really wanted to talk about the thing that really matters to me the most. And it's the role that I took on just a little more than 4 years ago, and that is that of being a parent. And anyone who is a parent I believe, can attest to this. It's the greatest role that you could ask for. For me, being a father is the most important thing to me in all the world. I have two boys, now 4 and 2, and seeing them grow up and seeing them become more like little kids from babies and toddlers now to little kids. It's just mind blowing how they change, and when people tell you how time flies, it couldn't be more true. It really, the last few years has just flown by. So yes, I'm very passionate about being a dad, but I think anyone could say that. At least I hope. But I want to talk to you today about something that impacted me shortly after becoming a dad. Back in February of 2018, we noticed that my oldest son, so I'm going to show you him. This is my little guy right here. This is Patrick. Was not really developing the way that he should. And what I mean by that is he wasn't speaking. So there was a speech delay, which isn't uncommon. I mean, a lot of kids have it. My younger siblings had it. So we took him to the pediatrician, and they suggested speech therapy. But this took a turn because shortly after our few sessions with our speech therapist, we noticed she suggested to us that we see a developmental pediatrician, and we said, well, why? And she said, well, there are certain mannerisms and behaviors that are kind of consistent with some developmental delays, and she said the term autism. And we weren't really sure what that meant, but she seemed concerned, but not, we weren't like in panic mode or anything. So she suggested we see a developmental pediatrician, which we did. So, after our first visit, toward the end of a very lengthy visit, came and she said to us, after seeing your son's behaviors and what he exhibited, we are going to diagnose him with autism spectrum disorder, ASD. And I got to tell you, we were just blown away because we're like, well, what does that mean? Not being familiar with it, you've heard of it, but you don't really know what it entails until it affects you, right? And you start researching it and whatnot. So, we came to find out that, as the term ASD, autism spectrum disorder, implies, there's a spectrum. There's a range of different things that, kids exhibit and behaviors. So we decided that, we had to do whatever we needed to do to make sure that Patrick, that's our son, got the therapies that he needed to have a normal life. So I stepped away from my professional duties, and I started taking on the role of being, full-time dad, and making sure that my son got the things that he needed, because what was paramount to me, above all else, was that we set the foundation that our son has the best life possible, not only just the best childhood, but the best life, right? That we make sure that at this young age, we are able to get him the things that he needs as he's able to develop and grow. As we started looking and researching this online in various support groups, I was blown away by the statistic that nearly 1 in 59 kids, or just about 17% of every 1,000 children in this country, are diagnosed with autism. So we knew we weren't alone, and that made us feel a little bit better, knowing that we weren't going alone and that there was help available, and there were resource groups, as I mentioned a minute ago, out there that we could get the things that, the therapies that he needed in order to make sure he had a successful life. So I'm happy to report, in summary, that that was 2.5 years ago. As my son just turned 4, he's speaking normally. He's in school 3 days a week. He's developed into this just awesome little boy. And again, this is what he looks like, and I love showing his picture. Because this is what matters to me. This is what I work for. At ADP, they have the hashtag, what are you working for, right? This is what I'm working for. I'm working for my son to make sure that he has the best life possible, and that I'm able to see him just grow and develop into the sweet little boy that he's become. I thank you so much for this opportunity. I look forward to continuing on in the process, and have a wonderful day.